Good morning. Today is Thursday, April 30th. We're going to get set for our Tuesday, Thursday Instagram Live ELA instruction. I'm going to wait and let some students join in for instruction.
Nobody not doing his work.
Who was that?
You know who this is, but don't play dumb.
I have no idea who you are.
But this is DeMarco, bro. Stop playing dumb.
Oh, DeMarco, welcome to live, man. What you need to
Man, I
do,
gotta go, man. Niggas don't want to be in here.
DeMarco, you need to get the lessons, man. Stay on
Man,
and
it's
get
a
the lessons.
bunch of men in here, bro. Nobody don't want to be in here, bro. Look, I'm the only person in here, bro.
So, DeMarco, people are going to join at 10 o'clock, so stay in the lesson, man.
Man, I'm not about to
Now,
stay in here, man, with a bunch of men.
DeMarco, that's
I got
beside
girls I gotta call, bro.
DeMarco, call them after the lesson is over. Look, I want you to stay in and get this lesson. You
Bro,
want it look
quarantine is
like
dumb.
you have a new name. Whenever you change your Instagram name, send the name to Miss Hardy and Miss Green so they'll know who you are.
No,
Y'all change our name from us,
I don't
okay?
care. I don't care. I don't care.
You gotta
Hey,
care, DeMarco. You gotta don't you want to you gotta get that black
bro,
shirt.
what is this, bro? What we gotta do this for, bro? Just send me the paper in the mail and I do it.
No, you can come up to the school and pick up the packets if you but DeMarco, why when you on live now? Just stay on live and get the lesson, man.
What do you have a life, bro? We are quarantining. This is the world is not a end, bro. Why is we on here?
Because this is how we get in school now, DeMarco. We're
Bro,
not going to school, so this is how we doing school through Instagram. If you're already up and you're already on, just stay on, okay? Hang
man,
up and
you are
get
not about to do this, man.
do the lesson, DeMarco. Hang up, man.
Man, you hang up, goofy.
Good morning. Let's get ready for our Tuesday, Thursday ELA Instagram live lessons. See, we have some students that joined in. Welcome, students. I want to thank you for your participation. I want you also to encourage your classmates to log into Instagram Live on Tuesday and Thursdays for our ELA instruction. Also, I want you to log in and inform your classmates to follow and log in and participate in Ms. Twyman's Monday and Wednesday math instructions on Instagram. Give a few more seconds for other students to join in. I want to welcome everybody. By the end of this lesson, after they read aloud, after this lesson, students will be able to, after they read aloud, define, compare, and contrast, then use a graphic organizer, the Venn diagram, to compare and contrast the text. This lesson is attached to the Common Core State Standard ELA RI 6.4, which states, compare and contrast the most important points and key details presented in two texts on the same topic. I see you and wave, and thanks for joining in. Compare and contrast, same and different. Students, remember, if you miss part of the lesson, you can always log back into Instagram Live for 24 hours and review the notes. Give a few more seconds for other students to join in. Okay, let's get started. Compare and contrast, same and different. Compare, this is a quick review of the notes. Compare, tell what is the same about two or more things. Oranges and bananas. We did a comparison of oranges and bananas. You can eat them both. They both are fruits, You have to peel them both. Contrast tells what is different about two or more things. When we contrast oranges and bananas, we tell how they're different, how they are not alike. Oranges are orange. Oranges are round. Oranges have seeds. Bananas are yellow. Bananas are long. Bananas don't have seeds. The Venn diagram. It is a great way to organize your thoughts when you are comparing and contrasting two things. In the middle, you put how the two objects are alike. On the sides, you put how the objects are different. This is what a Venn diagram would look like for comparing and contrasting apples and bananas. Venn diagram or double bubble, as what some people call it. As you can see, the middle part tells how the oranges and bananas are the same. On the outsides of the Venn diagram or double bubble, you tell how the oranges and bananas are different. At the end of Tuesday lesson, we were finishing up our compare and contrast of our two deserts, the Sahara and the Gobi. And we were finishing up this paragraph. We want to finish this up and move on. The Sahara and the Gobi are alike in many ways. People who raise animals live in each desert. So words like alike, each, so do, each, and similar are words that we use when we are comparing. Words that we use when we are comparing. The Sahara and the Gobi are alike in some ways. People who raise animals in each, good morning. People who raise animals live in each desert. In the Gobi, some people ride camels. So do some people in the Sahara. The soil in each desert, the soils in each desert are similar. Both deserts have sand and rocks. Many people think these deserts are beautiful. Okay, let me finishing up. I want you to take a look at this picture. Remember, we are comparing and contrasting. I want you to look at these pictures. Look at this picture, these two bears. And I want you to quickly compare and contrast. At least two ways that they are similar, compare, and at least two ways they contrast are different. I'll leave it posted for a few seconds. Waiting for responses. We're waiting for responses from students. We're waiting for responses from students to compare and contrast this picture of these two bears to at least two ways they are similar, compare, and at least two ways they are different, contrast. Still waiting for student responses. Give one few more seconds and we're going to go on. We have a student that just logged in. We're continuing our lessons on compare and contrast. With the instruction was students, look at this picture, and I want you to compare and contrast these two bears. You can type your answers in. List two ways they compare and at least two ways that they contrast. I'll wait a few seconds for students to respond. Yes, they're both bears. That's how they compare. Yes, we're doing compare and contrast. Students, you're going to compare and contrast this picture of these two bears. We're going to tell two ways that they're similar or compare and two ways that they're different, contrast. I see some students are joining in. Welcome. Thank you for joining in our Tuesday, Thursday 10 o'clock ELA Instagram live lessons. If you missed the notes, you can log back into my live feed for the next 24 hours, review the notes. Right now, we're looking at this picture. We're going to continue with our comprehension skill, compare and contrast. You're going to tell, good morning. You're going to tell 2 ways that they compare how they are alike, and 2 ways how they contrast, how they're different. That's when to just restate the instructions for the students who just joined in. I see some answers coming in, good answers. Yes, you're going to compare. I see a student response say compare or contrast. You're going to 2 ways they compare and 2 ways that they contrast. And thank you for your participation. You will be given credit for participation, and you will be awarded live school points for participation. I give students who just joined in a few seconds to respond. I like that. I said one name Polar and one name Panda, one name Polar. Good. That's how they contrast. They have different names. You don't see it, but that's something you know. Using prior knowledge, they have different names. One's a polar bear, one's a panda bear. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Hardy, for furthering instruction. Yes, you're going to compare and contrast. Compare, you're going to tell 2 ways how they're similar. Contrast, tell 2 ways how they're different. I give students a few more seconds to respond. Some great answers were coming in. Yes, I'm just going to review some of the answers that came in. Some students said that they contrast. One is a polar bear and one is a panda bear. The student said they compare, which they're alike. They're both bears. How they compare and contrast. If you look at the pandas, they both have ears. The panda bear has ears. The polar bear has ears. But if you look closely, the panda ears are black. The polar bear ears are white. So yes, they compare. They both have ears, but they also contrast with their ears. Their ears are different colors. Somebody said they're compared, that they both have fur. The polar bear has fur, and the panda bear has fur. They contrast with their fur. The polar bear's fur is all white. The panda bear's fur is black and white. One student said that the pattern is different. Yes, the panda bear is black, has black with the white, and the polar bear is all white. Okay, let's continue. So this, when you go back into the live feed, This picture will be posted so you'll be able to go back and look closer and compare and contrast a little more. And our text for today is bears in danger. Lo and behold, we're talking about polar bears and panda bears. Bears in danger. Polar bears and panda bears look very different from what we just seen in the previous picture. So when we go back to our Venn diagram, to complete our Venn diagram, we know which two items we're comparing and contrasting. We are going to compare and contrast, because we are going to compare and contrast polar bears and giant panda bears. So when we go to our Venn diagram, we're going to write so in our Venn diagram on the east sides, we know the topic that we're discussing. We're going to compare and contrast our polar bears and giant panda bears. When we fill out our Venn diagram, we know this box, this shade is part in the middle where the double bubbles of Venn diagrams intersect is where they compare or are the same. That information is going to go there. On the outside, we're going to discuss how the panda bears are different, will go here. How polar bears are different, will go here. Let's go back to the text. I'll give students a few seconds who have pencil and paper who are going to do the work on the pencil and paper. They're going to draw the double bubble or the Venn diagram. So we know we are comparing and contrasting polar bears and giant panda bears. I'll get the camera set up a little better for you. I think that's a little better. I think that's a little better for you for viewing. Okay? Polar bears and giant panda bears look very different. Polar bears are white. Panda bears are black and white. So now we know some information about the polar bear and the panda bear from the text. So we go back to our Venn diagram, our double bubble, and we know that it says polar bears are white. So on the side of the Venn diagram with the polar bears, we're going to write the word white. Pandas are black and white. We'll go to the Venn diagram on the side with on the side of the double bubble with the giant panda, and we're going to write black and white. I got a question. On the Venn diagram, we're talking about polar bears are white and panda bears are black. What would we put in the middle of the Venn diagram as it relates to white for polar bears and black for panda bears? So we know that they contrast because It said white and black. But what are they comparing and contrasting that we can put here in the middle? What did the text state about white for polar and black? What can we put here in the double bubble that compare for the two bears? I wait for answers to come in. Kevon came back and said they're both bears, so we can put they're both bears. But what about the bears? About the polar bears, it's white, and about the giant pandas, that's black and white. So you can join the class live. You can request live and come in. Yeah, if the student send a request to join the class live, I can accept it, and then we can talk. We can talk live. They live in different habitats. So students, if you want to join the class live, send me a live request, and we can join you in live, and I can take your answers that way. Yeah, someone can request to join the class live. So students, if you want to join the class live, send me a live request to join the class live, and I'll accept the request, and you can join live, and we can discuss. I'll wait to see if a student sent a live request. Come on, somebody join live and give answers. They're going to join? There you go.
Morning, Miss McRae.
Hey, Kayvon, thanks for joining live.
You're welcome.
Okay. So it says polar bears and giant pandas look very different. Polar bears are white. Pandas are black and white. So we on the Venn diagram, we set it up like this: white for polar bears, and panda bears are black and white.
I
And I
know a
said,
big difference.
I
The
said,
white a
my
polar
question
bear
was,
lives somewhere cold.
no, I'm saying my question was, as it relates to black and white, what will we put in the middle of the double bubble that compare? What are they what compare? They both, the polar bears is white, the panda bears is black and white. What is the text referring to when they're talking about black for polar bear and white for the panda bear? You know? Did you see
Actually,
the, did you see the picture when I'm gonna show you the picture again. So this is the picture we were referring to, Kayvon. that we saw before the text. Okay?
Yep.
And the question was, if you have to submit 2 ways that these bears compare or are alike, and 2 ways that they contrast, that they are different. And the text said that the polar bear is white and the panda bear is black and white. What are they referring to when they say black and white for the panda and white for the polar?
They're saying they're a different color, so they're not the same.
What is different color? Is a different color?
The polar bear is white, and the panda is black and white.
Okay, what on the panda is white, and what on the polar bear? The panda is black and white, and what on the polar bear is white. What are they talking about?
The fur.
There you go, the fur. There you go. Thank you, Kayvon. Let's go back to the text. So it says polar bears and giant panda bears look very different. Polar bears are white, pandas are black and white. So as we filled out the Venn diagram, we know that the polar bear is white and the giant panda is black and white. What Kayvon said is that what the text is referring to but not stating, so he was able to infer that the fur, they both have fur, but the fur is different. For the polar bear is white, for the giant panda is black and white. The text didn't state what, but Kayvon was able to infer that the text was referring to their fur. Good job, Kayvon. Let's continue reading. Polar bears are much larger than panda bears. So we're going to go back to the Venn diagram. 1 second. It says polar bears are much larger than panda bears. We will go back to the Venn diagram, and for polar bears, we will write larger. And on the panda bears, we're going to write smaller. Polar bears are larger, giant pandas are smaller. Let's continue reading. These bears also live in different places. Polar bears need cold and ice, so their homes are near the North Pole. When they hunt, they wait on the ice to catch seals and fish. Pandas live in mountains. They climb bamboo trees. They eat lots of bamboo. Okay, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie, you okay?
Yeah.
Did you hear what I just read, or do you need me to reread it?
Can you reread it, please? I had to turn my TV down.
Okay, good. Thank you for turning the TV down and paying attention. These bears, first it said that polar bears are larger than panda bears. So we went to the Venn diagram, and under polar bears we wrote larger, and giant pandas we wrote smaller. Okay? These bears also live in very different places. So Kayvon, or the other students. So when we see the word different, does that mean we're going to compare or contrast?
Contrast, because they're both different, and they live in different places and do different things.
Contrast, tell how things are different. Polar bears need cold and ice, so their homes are near the North Pole. When they hunt, they wait on the ice to catch seals and fish.
Wait, can't seals bite them back, though?
They could, but I guess the polar bears are just so much larger that they just overtake them.
Uh,
Polar bears need cold and ice, so their homes are near the North Pole. When they hunt, they wait on the ice to catch seals and fish. Pandas pandas live pandas live in the mountains. They climb bamboo trees and eat lots of bamboo. So now let's tell one way that they're different. Let's go back to the Venn diagram. Yvonne, tell me from what we just read how they are different. Remember, your answers are text dependent. Your answers have to come from the text.
because pandas climb bamboo trees and eat bamboo,
Okay,
and the
let me hold a second. Let me write it. Which one are you talking about, John? Polar bears or panda bears?
panda bears. Panda
So,
bears climb bamboo and eat bamboo. Polar bears hunt seals and fish and is by the North Pole.
okay. So from what you restated from the text, on the side that says polar bears, you said seals and fish, right? For polar bears,
Yes.
okay. For giant pandas, you said eat bamboo,
Yes.
right? So when it relates to that, those answers, what would I put in the middle of the Venn diagram that compares that both polar and panda bears do?
They both.
Based on what you just said, seals and fish and giant and bamboo.
Hold up, Mr. McRae.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Nevaeh, get out. This is my class. My sister is in here for some reason.
Yeah, just let her know that this is that she may be following your feed, but let her know that this is our class. There she goes. She said, okay. Thank you, Kayvon.
You welcome.
So did you get the question, Kayvon?
No, sorry.
Okay, the question was, where's not focusing? Let's say let it focus in a second. There we go. So not only Kayvon, any other student can answer. Kayvon said for polar bears, seals, and fish. For giant pandas, he said bamboo. My question is, what will we put in the middle of the Venn diagram to compare those two answers? What would go there? Waiting for students to respond. Classes over at 10:45. Deshaun said, what was the question? Okay. The question was based on the text. Kayvon gave the answer: polar bears, and he said seals and fish. Giant pandas, he said bamboo. So those contrasts, they're different. But as it relates to seals and fish and bamboo, what would be the same about both bears that we can put here? Does anybody have a response? Have a response, Kayvon?
The same about them is
What is seals and fish? And what is bamboo?
food.
There you go. So right here we compare. So we know they both eat food, but the food is different. The polar bears, seals and fish, and the giant pandas eat bamboo. Let's go back to the text. When they hunt, they wait on the ice to catch seals and fish. Pandas live in the mountains. They climb bamboo trees to eat lots of bamboo. You listening, Kayvon?
My grandmother called me. Can you read it again, please?
Your grandmother called you? Yes,
Yeah.
I can read it again. When they hunt, they wait on the ice to catch seals and fish. Pandas live in the mountains. They climb bamboo trees and eat lots of bamboo.
I get the difference now. Can I say it?
Yeah,
Polar bears wait and hunt. Panda bears, they climb and get food.
right. So we know, thank you, Kayvon. We know they both eat, but the difference of the contrast is that polar bears hunt and wait to catch their food whereas pandas, they climb the trees in the mountains to eat the bamboo. Okay?
Yep.
We're going to finish this paragraph when we meet on Tuesday. Remember,
All right.
compare and contrast. So, class, I'm going to post a challenge, and I want you to read the challenge. And at the end of the challenge, you'll see what the prize is. All right, Kayvon, I'm hanging you up, okay?
All right.
Thanks for your participation.
You're welcome.
So, students, I'm going to post a challenge for the class. In order to know the challenge and know the reward, you need to log back into the Instagram live feed, watch the notes again. I'm going to put up a post after this live feed. It's going to be posted at the end of the day today. You can log back into my Instagram page, watch the challenge, and I want you to do the challenge. And there's a prize at the end of the challenge for the students who finish. Okay, students, thanks for your participation, and we'll see you on Tuesday at 10 o'clock.